Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to talk about our commodities daily technical analysis update. We'll go through the same thing, the dollar, 10, 30-year yields, precious metals, and all the other commodities that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions in here. And again, if you need any help with anything, join the Platinum membership, finding-value.com. We do have a Sunday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Platinum members question and answer session. See you there. So let's dive in. Let's give you my opinions on what's going on and what I see in the markets. Now, DXY, the dollar, we're not getting much of a bounce here, at least not yet. I don't see anything. So it looks kind of dead. We've got a large move lower with this large selling pressure candlesticks, these three monster candlesticks in there to the downside, and I have not seen much buying pressure yet. I think this will eventually work its way lower given the weakness of this bounce. There's just nothing there. Maybe they've got something left. Maybe they get a little bit more and it rolls over, but I'm still in the camp that it's not going to work its way up like that we're going to see some sort of rollover or just direct rollover type move. Weaker dollar is a tailwind to all our commodities. That's obvious if you guys have been a part of this. Last bull market, we had the ratio bottom here for commodities to buy commodities. The DXY went up, turned around, went down, and then we sold our commodities over in this region. I think this is basically telling us where we are in the commodity bull market to some extent. We have gotten a large selling pressure move off of this resistance line. I think we're going to head lower, and I think there's still time left in this commodity bull market, as weird as it sounds, and as I'll say, as negative as everyone is on the overall markets. I still think there's a good bit of runway ahead of us for commodities. The 10-year yield continues to go higher here. Now, we've had a small little pullback coming off these highs. Hopefully it loads here. So we're coming up off these highs. We've had this pullback. I'm waiting to see what happens here. We're up a little bit, 1.14%. I am not in the camp that thinks that this is just going to rocket lower. I am in the camp where I think that this is a normal, healthy pullback. We'll get a consolidation out of this somehow, and then eventually it will work its way higher. Why higher? Because I think the inflationary pressures in energy are all still there. Housing, the pressures, I should say, the underlying demographic is there. They're just getting priced out of it. So that's the tough part with the CPI, because it's a measurement of a couple of different things. But I think energy is going to rip here at some point very soon. I'm getting very bullish on oil, especially natural gas. And I don't think that this will just work its way lower easily. I think there's going to be some pressures mounting where it wants to go higher. And what you see in here, and we'll go through these other ones first. This is a bearish engulfing where bond prices could go lower. Is it a breakout retest type move? We'll find out. And then also the TYX, the 30-year yield, getting a little bit of buying pressure today. But this TYX, TNX continues to drop. Now, is this a breakout retest type movement where we head up? That would mean that the yield curve would uninvert. It's possible. And if I'm right with the pressures coming from energy, this could still go lower. Now, energy can also go up when this goes higher. That is possibly the case. So again, we are looking at, if we go higher in this, gold and silver take off. If this pushes lower, oil's taking off. I have bets on both of those. I'm kind of like almost hedged, so to speak. Last time this went lower, we see massive outperformance of oil. So, and last time this went up, it was a massive outperformance of gold and precious metals in general. The CRB index down a little bit today, down 0.43%. Now, this guy's got a falling wedge that's bullish to go higher. We're doing a return retest move. Usually that means that oil is going to go higher. I like the way that oil looks right now. I'm getting pretty bullish on it. And I'll show you why here in a little bit. The CRB to S&P 500 is just chopping sideways in a consolidation pattern. Big picture view, though, if you look at it, we are moving with momentum higher. This is our first kind of pullback. Is the ratio gonna move up in 3 waves where we get basically 1 wave, 3rd wave, and then a 5th wave? Something on the lines of that. It is possible, but it's still very cheap. Still very cheap for commodities. Gold. So we have higher dollar, higher yields. That usually results in a weaker gold price or weaker precious metals price. This still looks excellent. Large buying pressure days, small selling pressure days. That is usually an indication that we are going to go higher over time. It's going to grind its way higher. Silver's got the same thing, basically flat. It's had a little bit more selling pressure, and platinum is in the same camp. It's pulled back. We're down $4, but it's not a huge sell-off. It took, if you were to look here, we went up one day and it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to really pull it back below that, or 5 days, I should say, below that low. So it's taking a lot more time for the sellers to kind of leak out of this. They're not just blowing us to the downside. I think this is going to work its way higher over time, and I think it looks good. XEU to gold ratio, we're also seeing people position in the gold and silver mining companies. I think that's a positive sign for gold and silver to go higher and the mining companies to go higher. GDX, we can see a large buying pressure move, small pullback with a bullish engulfing. That's going to go higher, in my opinion. That looks really good and positive. SILJ also coming back, doing that retest of the support level. And I think that we're going to work our way on up for SILJ. Crude oil, come on, baby. This is my boy crude. So I like it here a lot. I like it a lot, guys. And hopefully I don't, eat crow here, but this here looks like this type of setup right there. It's very similar. We've got that nice big bullish hammer candlestick. If this was bearish, if we were going to break through the 75 zone, we would be ending right down at its lows and blasting lower. No, we got a bounce. We got buying pressure at the end of the day there. This is what it looks like if I were to zoom in. There's your buying pressure. It bottomed, and it's coming back up with that buying pressure. So it's sold off, and we're getting that nice bounce. That's what that hammer candlestick looks like. If you kind of zoom in here, you kind of have this trend line coming down here. There's your trend line. We want to break that trend line as we come back up. But what I usually see in these bottoms, guys, if it is bottom, we've got support underneath us. That's huge. I buy off support levels. And we've got basically a double bottom here where we come up, we bottom again, and then we launch. Fingers crossed. This looks very similar to this setup right in here as you get these wicks at the bottom, does a little double bottom, and then launches higher. That's what I look for in these bottoming patterns, are these wicks on the bottom. There's one right there. Let's zoom in on it. Right there's another big wick with the bullish engulfing. That's ultra bullish. I like seeing that. So you come down. This is the slingshot cheetah pattern where it kind of slingshots down and then boom, it rips it higher there. Boom, 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 gone. Is this a slingshot cheetah? Well, it's not a slingshot cheetah because we didn't dip below, but is this a reversal point where we put that wick at the bottom and we start to move higher? I hope so. And I think, I was buying in here in some of my favorite companies. Again, you know what those companies are, guys, if you're a platinum member. I was looking for this bottom. I was looking for that buying pressure to get that wick at the bottom somewhere in this vicinity down here. So I added my positions. Natural gas also looking good. We've broken out of this little pattern here. We're drifting higher. Nice little wick at the bottom. The companies are also showing strength. I know that we were down today 1.11%. It's not necessarily if you're up or down. It's the way that they move. So bearish movements have wicks at the top. Those are bearish. So when you get these wicks at the top, that usually means we want to go lower. That's that wick, up here that I circled there. Wicks at the bottom usually means that buyers come in and they start buying this up. There's wicks at the bottom. If you look, you don't see too many wicks at the bottom. There's some there, and we're still going higher. And then you get wicks at the top, that's bearish. Wicks at the top, that's bearish. You're going to go down, 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 down. And you just can scan this, and we got this nice big. There's a couple of wicks at the bottom here. There's this one that I've circled, and this one here that I've got right there. There's buyers there, and that's why this thing has been up there. We're above support. We've got support right underneath us. I think this looks good. OIH is in the same situation. Nice big wick at the bottom. And we're getting bullish engulfings if you look at some of the individual companies as well, where we got nice good reversal points, either a wick at the bottom or a bullish engulfing. They're looking, that's a form of strength and a form of a reversal. So I like it. That's me. Uranium moving sideways with the futures pricing. Let's dive in here a little bit. Let me do an auto 1 year. Get this thing loaded up. We'll do the weeklies. I don't know what's going on with this price. Okay, here. There we go. There's the weeklies here. I don't know why it's getting all funky. Let's move to the next one. This is the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We're getting a little bit of buying pressure here. Again, we're next to large selling pressure. This still could head lower. It's still a possibility. I don't see a big, strong bounce in buying pressure yet. And I do see a lot of selling pressure right before it. That usually means it could continue lower until we see some sort of reversal pattern like a bullish engulfing or something like that. Uranium is holding on, minus 0.34%. We are back at that support level. Everything's okay. It looks good. It's holding on. We have not broken out to the downside on big volume or big candlestick or anything like that. Still just squeezing up, moving sideways. TAN, a little bit of selling pressure. It's got that bloody nose today. I still think that TAN looks good from a long-term perspective to move higher. So I think that looks good. COPX still looks all right. We're right on that support level. We'll see if it holds. Is that a bearish engulfing? It could be, where we had down a little bit, but we'll see if that support level holds. Lithium, I call this the ugly chart. I'm not really playing lithium with anything. We do have some selling pressure today. It could be a bearish engulfing. We could see further downside, but I don't know. There's no real structure to this chart. It's just one ugly duckling, and it looks like it's just consolidating, sideways in here. So I don't know. I don't have too much to say there. REMX, again, it's moving sideways. Nice little buying pressure, little hammer candlestick there above support. So that still looks okay. The S&P 500, I don't have any horses in this race up here, but just moving sideways. I don't really have anything to say. I don't really see any strong direction here. It looks like it doesn't know what it wants to do. The NASDAQ is the same way. It's just bouncing around here. Doesn't know what to do. Like it's waiting for some sort of thing. I mean, we've got this nice big bullish engulfings down here. That's usually a base to launch from. But I don't really see any movements at this time. Emerging markets slightly lower. It's got the bloody nose to go higher. Makes me think that the dollar wants to go lower by looking at this chart and the breakout. XHB also just moving sideways, kind of confused on where to go, I think. Highly depends on interest rates and where interest rates are going. And interest rates, they've gone up. So I think it's confused on where it wants to go. MU is just moving sideways. We're above support, still looking good from that respect. Copper futures pricing heading a little bit lower, right on support now. Let's see if we get a kick tomorrow, next trading day, I should say, Monday. We'll see if we get a kick on the next trading day to kick us on higher. We've got lumber still just chopping sideways. Housing starts 1.4 something million. That's pretty much average. It's not horrible for a housing start number. It's not horrible. Now, something below 1 million is horrible, but it's not bad. Iron ore up 0.81%. And let's look at that. We've been just chopping sideways in this thing here, you'll see 3 humps is probably what you'll see in this pullback, and then a break higher. Aluminum slightly lower. Again, we're right on support. I think that looks fine. I think we're going to move higher. That's where I usually like seeing. Baltic Dry Index is still moving sideways. We've got our 1 hump, our 2 hump, and then our 3 hump. And this hump, this third one, it doesn't have to go all the way down. Sometimes they break right off the top. Sometimes they go halfway. Sometimes they go all the way down. Hard to say on the third hump. It's not as easy as just, it always goes to one level. It's not like that. Newcastle coal, it is firming up a little bit right where it's at. I think this is going to still go higher, as weird as that sounds and as bad as the chart looks. Is there further downside in it? Perhaps, but when people realize that renewables aren't going to work, and then we still have to burn a lot of coal, then I think that this is going to remain elevated. How much higher, we'll see. It's in a consolidation period. I mean, we've got basically a consolidation period going on, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Ethereum, I'm just throwing Bitcoin in here just because I think it's bottoming out to prove that, chart reading does work to some extent. We've got a nice kind of consolidation that's just coming right in that I think we're going to move higher at some point. And Bitcoin's doing the same thing. Bitcoin is just moving sideways and come into that dead period where I think we'll move higher. This is what the bottoms look like. They always have this type of move where you kind of come up, they sell off quick, they pop higher, they go sideways, and then they move higher like that. I see that all the time. In the March 2020 low, if we were to look back there, I bet you it's got a similar bottom to that. There it is. March 2020, you get that big sell-off move. You get a nice good bounce. You get a couple of sideways action kind of days and just kind of rolls on higher like that. I think that's kind of where we're at with Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies. But that's what I've got for today, guys. I like the setup of oil. Hopefully we can get a bounce here and get moving. We've got the nice big bullish hammer candlestick pattern. It's got a big hammer. Start hammering away. I know that oil is undervalued. We've got low inventories. We've come into the winter. We usually use more oil in the winter. We're going to see natural gas to oil switching in Europe. I think the setup is there. Now we just have to see what happens. We have to see what inventory data is. The SPR is done, as far as I understand. We have to see the inventory numbers come in week after week and see what they have. So I'm bullish. I think this was, it looks to me like people were positioning in the stocks while the price, it's like almost like they were pushing it down and loading up in the stocks, and that they knew that the price of oil was going to go higher. Like they had a manipulation to last 2 days or something like that. I'm taking it as a buying opportunity. I bought my favorite companies. If you guys want to know what those companies are, definitely sign up for the finding-value.com. Just search portfolio at the top of the website, and you can see my portfolio and the ones I'm adding into. I list it right there, and you can see that. But yeah, that's what I've got for today. Uranium's still looking all right. We're just squeezing up. We'll see which way we break. I'm in the camp that it's going to break to the upside based off of the valuations of the ratios, based off the deficits, based off the commodity bull market and increasing interest rates, and so on and so on. This is the time frame that uranium does its moonshot. It's got the right market conditions. We're about roughly in the spot where this is going to happen in the commodity bull market, where this is ready to go. Could it be another 6 months? It could. It could. I get it. I'm pretty patient, but the market conditions are right for this to happen. And that goes for a lot of these different commodities. The market conditions are right for it to happen over the next time frame, whatever that time frame is. We'll see. I don't know if this is compressed, if it's elongated, this bull market in commodities. If I were to make a guess, it's probably going to be close to the same as the other ones. 8 to 10 years, something like that. We're probably 2 years into it. So that's what I've got for today, guys. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.